To start, I'm giving you a trigger warning. This video includes a car accident, trauma, and the mention of drugs. Almost 11 years ago, I was leaving my home late one evening to meet a sober friend at Denny's for coffee. While sitting at the median right outside my neighborhood, a car T-boned me, pushing me onto the grass, a Nissan Altima deploying its airbags, and the passenger side cutting down a tree as the other vehicle pushed into my door before I came to a stop. I was so wedged into my car severely that it took EMS and the fire department 45 minutes to get me out of my vehicle, with a man holding my head as still as possible during the excruciating jaw of life extraction. So lately I've been creating content on relapse from the standpoint of immunity, the space between stopping drinking, using unhealthy coping behavior, and recovery, and managing stress to avoid relapse. Today, I want to use a personal story that highlights the reason why this is so important. In that accident, I was broken all over. My hips, lumbar, ribs, punctured lungs, severe concussion. After the extraction from the car, I was in and out of consciousness, but I remember hearing one of the ambulance drivers say, "We need to take her to Memorial Hermann Southwest due to the level of trauma." There were several fully functioning hospitals within a 5-mile radius, but my injuries were severe enough that I ended up on the trauma level 4 in one of the world's biggest medical hubs. The professionals felt I needed the care available only 43 miles away from my well-equipped suburb of Houston. I was unconscious when I arrived at the hospital. I awoke the next day, and of course the hospital had put me on pain medication that they anticipated would match the pain that I would be feeling. This, in 2013, was morphine. The problem with that is that those substances are on the continuum of abuse. And even when needed, they activate neural networks in recovery, we want to be muted, and we want those pathways broken, and we want that established habit diminished. The pain meds were necessary, but informed and aware use of them was also necessary. The first thing I did was ask a sober friend to help me develop a plan to manage the pain, to promote healing, and not let the pain get in the way of that healing, while also minimizing the risk. So how does this story relate to stress, relapse prevention, and looking at substance use disorder through the lens of immunity? Well, everything. Accidents are by definition not expected, predictable, or plannable. This one happened, and I was fortunate to have an active relationship with sober peers. Remember, I was going to meet one for coffee. I had a volunteer position that gave me meaning and purpose. My jobs gave me meaning and purpose as well, but obviously I was paid for those. I had a personal contemplative practice in the form of meditation, and I was attending mutual help meetings regularly. There was space between me and drinking and using. What could have happened if the accident happened and I didn't have positive, pro-beneficial sober living habits? My body and brain would have been introduced to a powerful substance that creates addiction, that would have activated a brain already prone to over-relying on unhealthy coping. The days, weeks, and months of stressful recovery would have created a negative synergy and accelerated a relapse process. It is highly likely that would have been a catalyst to a resumed relationship with substances, a relapse. I'm not sharing this story to scare you straight, but to give you a real life example of how people in recovery need to be in an active recovery plan, and how the body, brain, and habits inform a life that has immunity against relapse. For more information, content support, and tools on how to manage executive stress and enjoy life without drugs, alcohol, or over-relying on unhealthy coping, check my Linktree or description box for a free workbook on managing stress to help stop drinking.